He stuffed a towel into the exhaust pipe. Then he turned the key. He pressed hard on the gas pedal. Exhaust fumes flooded into the car. He wanted to make it look like an accident. That way his wife could collect a hefty insurance payout. But then he heard shouting from outside. When he got out of the car, the voice was coming from his old high school buddy. He realized his lame leg had somehow healed. He quickly checked himself in the mirror. He'd turned back into his high school self. It was like he'd gone back 20 years. Everyone was greeting him enthusiastically because Carter was the school's star athlete. He was also the best quarterback in the state. Could this actually be real? Before he could process what was happening, his teammate reminded him it was time for practice. He suited up in his gear. Once again, he stood on the field with his teammates. But after 20 years away from the game, he looked like a complete rookie out there. He just froze in place. He was instantly tackled by the opponent. Sharp pain shot through his chest. This was no dream. After getting his head back in the game, Carter found his old self again. He had the agile footwork, the pinpoint passes, and scored touchdowns himself. It was like he was letting out years of pent-up frustration. But the coach, seeing how pumped he was, suspected he was on something. He warned him that before the state championship, he needed to conserve his energy. The state championship, the coach mentioned. That was the very game that destroyed his career. In the final moments, Carter had helped his team win the state title but left himself permanently disabled. After that, Carter had to give up the football he loved. In his future, he could only scrape by collecting scrap metal. Meanwhile, his old teammates were driving luxury cars. One even married his high school sweetheart. This huge psychological gap led him to numb himself with alcohol, eventually driving him to insurance fraud to give his family a better life. Back at home, Carter saw his mother, who'd been dead for years. He threw his arms around her. In his past life, he'd always been annoyed by her nagging. Now he finally understood the warmth of family. His mom, for his sake, worked overtime at the factory every day. Carter knew this was what killed her in his previous life. He decided to change history. Carter immediately stopped his mom, hoping she'd call in sick and get some rest. But his mom insisted on going to work. Watching his mother's figure disappear, Carter swore he'd give his mom and wife a better life this time.